tried to make the microphone shorter because it was much taller than me, so thank you very much for that. I'm here tonight because I'm the in-house guest, so that means you do have to laugh, otherwise I have got the power to throw you all out. This is the museum. You should remember that you're in this building, you walk through the door, it looks like a museum. We have lots of objects in it. These are some of the oldest ones. They belong to my collection. I'm an archaeologist. Oldest ones from Dorset, not from Bristol. There were no museums when these came in to the museum 175 years ago. Fantastic things. What's Brunel got to do with our collections? Well, he built a railway line straight through the middle of a Roman villa, and we've got it. It's in literally thousands and thousands of pieces. But we were inspired to put it back together again, and we did that in the front hall of this building. This is what it looked like when we put it back together again. It had been in boxes for 150 years. We make connections with our collections in a variety of different ways. Our visitors watched us do this. We didn't do it behind closed doors. We're very good at building roads and things through villas. We did it twice. We went straight through a Roman villa out at Lawrence Weston. That's the biggest thing that I look after in my collection. This chap here, George Boone, he was inspired when he was 16 to get his friends from school to help him dig it. He discovered the villa. This person's discovering the villa today. He's one of our community groups. He was on a citizenship course at the City of Bristol College. He came, he made a connection with our collection. He's not an archaeologist, but he was inspired. These two chaps don't look like me, thank God. They're old men. They made lots and lots of collections. We've got about 10,000 objects in our museum because of Mr. Selly and because of Dr. Fawcett. Mr. Selly paid people. We paid him for objects like this one. It was dredged from the docks. We made a connection with this when we built M-Shed. M-Shed's our brand new museum. You've got to go there. This is a chevron bead. It was part of the triangular trade during the slave trade period. We put it on show in our new museum. You will see things like this where we've made connections with our collections and new museums. Dr. Fawcett, meanwhile, he made a collection of 7,514 objects. Some of those are on display here, but most of them are in drawers downstairs. I make connections with our visitors by taking them to see this collection. His idea was to make a collection for the benefit of mankind, to show how things had changed over time. That's what museums do. But they also do things like this. This was a group of young women who wanted to get back into the world of work. They used Dr. Fawcett collections for their inspiration. They made jewellery based on all of those things which are in our drawers downstairs. They came to visit. My favourite object in the museum, why has it got wacky feet on? I don't know. That means that I have a connection with all of you because you don't know either. We put it on display. We used it to make a brand new kind of gallery. It's over here. In there, we admit we don't know all the answers. Your ideas are often as good as ours. This is the new gallery. We look at things from multiple perspectives. It's not just up to me to be the expert. You can be the expert as well. This person found 11,640 coins when he was digging his pond. It inspired us to do a whole raft of other things in the museum. It also inspired the whole world to come knocking on our door one Thursday morning when we released the press release, and the world went mad. I was really disappointed. The only connection I couldn't make was with Blue Peter because I wasn't allowed to go. The objects went to Blue Peter, I didn't. I got to look after the school children who were equally inspired by 11,000 objects. This is one of our Acheulean hand axes. It's the earliest type of stone tool which has a global connection. It's the one that sits at the tomb of the unknown craftsman. Grayson Perry revered this as a kind of object. We used it to inspire some young women from Barton Hill to understand how we can classify things and how sometimes we classify each other. We're all the same, but we're also a little bit different, just like all these axes in the drawer downstairs in my store. This is a Roman tombstone. It was found at Sea Mills. It's also one of my favourite objects in the collection. I don't use it to tell a story about the Romans. That's what you would expect. But actually what I do is I put it in the museum down at M-Shed, and I made connections with an Inuit Parker and Cary Grant, because that's the whole section about how people came to this city and how people went away. The Inuit were brought by an explorer. Cary Grant left to find fame. I don't know who put that tombstone there. And very finally, all of you can make connections with our collections. We have community groups. They take objects, they take pictures, they make their own museums. It doesn't look like this one. Thank you.